What's up everybody, my name is Big Cam and welcome back to another teaser trailer reaction slash breakdown for Marvel's latest television show that should have been coming out in December but got moved to January 27th, and we're getting our first looks here and first actual footage we've seen from the Wonder Man TV show, and I believe this is just a teaser trailer, but we do know that Yahya Abdul-Mateem will be playing Simon Williams, I believe is the character's name, who will become Wonder Man, and Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley, I believe, is also going to be returning as Trevor Slattery from Shang-Chi and like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. He's returning after all these years into this show. And this show is kind of like a meta, almost like The Studio on Apple TV Plus, like almost like that kind of show, I think, but Marvel's take on it, where it's like actor in Hollywood trying to get a role in a movie as a superhero, and then maybe he becomes a superhero himself. I don't know a whole lot else besides maybe that, and that's kind of a guess coming from me, you know? So let's just jump on into this trailer and see what this thing has to offer. I mean, other than just the poster we've seen, it looks like, you know, they're casting for Wonder Man, and it's like, you know, blanked out on the Hollywood Reporter cover, and it's like, Hollywood experiencing superhero fatigue? Is it time to hang up the capes? Question mark. And it's like, I think it's going to be a show about, is it time for superhero fatigue? Is superhero fatigue a thing? Like, should we not do superheroes anymore? And that's been a whole thing in the media talking about Marvel movies, and it seems like Marvel is making a project about this topic. So it seems meta, but also seems like interesting in a way. Like, I can't wait to see this in January. And they did get moved till January because they said they didn't want it to get lost in with the elves and the Home Alones and the Christmas stuff. It could also have gotten moved because of the release schedule for Stranger Things season 5 should be going through all the holidays this winter. So like, there's quite a few things that I thought might have come out at the end of this year, and they're just kind of like, yeah, 2026, see you then. And I'm like, well, there's still 2 months left in the year. Why is everyone just pushing it to 2026? I don't think anybody wants to compete with Stranger Things. It is what it is. But let's jump into this trailer and see what Wonder Man has to offer.
Entertainment world is stunned today when internationally celebrated and reclusive filmmaker Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for his first franchise film and remake of Wonder Man. Mr. Von Kovac, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I know your question is, why one more superhero film, man?
Ooh, I just split it up a little bit so I don't get copyright, but that looks like the actor who plays Vasil Gurkos in Superman over in James Gunn's side of things. So that same actor over on the Marvel side of things playing Von Kovac, the director, talking about his inspiration for Wonder Man. And Wonder Man seems to be like this old movie that he's remaking, and he's like, it's gonna be different, I promise. But you know, it seems like Simon Williams was a big fan of this franchise beforehand, you know what I mean, like was a big fan of Wonder Man in this movie and this director. So it seems like he's watching this interview going on with like bated breath going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, they're making a Wonder Man movie, you know, like most of us watching these trailers for the Marvel stuff, like it's so meta. I think it's going to be really good, but like also confusing, like what's going on here. And then I was also trying to peek, like, is there any special headlines on the little page there? I couldn't necessarily make out anything, but interesting so far. Who's Vasil Gurkos, who's this ugly man from Superman, going to be directing Wonder Man? But on to the next portion of this trailer.
Everyone is tired of superheroes. Why go see them in the cinema? Wonder Man spoke to me on a deep level. There is an opportunity to shock audiences.
Oh my god. So it looks like Wonder Man was this campy superhero with this like classic W on his chest, like a white guy. I don't know what the deal was. He's got lunch boxes, he's got old VHS tapes, old thermoses with like his face on it or something, or maybe that's the villain's face on it in the middle there. But like he's got like this campy jetpack on his back, he's got these crazy boots on, he's got this terrible outfit, but it looks like he's fighting like this Wes Anderson style shot of like an alien ship. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like there's going to be a movie, Wonder Man, and they're remaking Wonder Man into a modern day thing. And he's like, oh god, I want to play Wonder Man. And then maybe he becomes a superhero because of that. This doesn't give us so much information. Like, it's mostly speculation that I'm doing at this moment, but like, it seems that Simon Williams was with his father in the theaters, which seems mostly empty. Actually, a lot of empty seats around them, but they're in the theaters, and his dad's like, you know, eating popcorn, looking at his son, and his son's mind is blown when he's seeing Wonder Man flying away, even though it looks so campy and terrible with the jetpack and the one leg up. But, you know, it inspired a young kid. And this director's like, Wonder Man spoke to me on a deep level. And I think it has a chance to, an opportunity to shock audiences. And then we cut to the audiences in this last portion of the trailer, and the audiences are like, holy shit!
Holy shit! To reimagine the whole genre of storytelling.
Have you given any thought about casting?
Oh, so he's like, we're going to reimagine this whole story. And, you know, he's like looking at this wall of superheroes, and like, that's got a bunch of Easter eggs in it, and it's got like pictures of Captain America, maybe White Vision, Black Panther, maybe Thor, maybe Captain America's shield. Maybe some other people in there, maybe Shuri or something. But, you know, why is this show like in Hollywood, but it's like meta, and it's like they're shooting a show that looks like it's called Cash Grab 2, and it's in black and white. I don't know, it looks like a guy's in his underwear in front of the, or maybe that's a woman in a bikini. But either way, there's like people posing in front of the Hollywood sign for pictures. And, you know, this guy's out here just like, I would love to be on this this show. I'd love to be Wonder Man. And this guy, this director, is like casting for the show. And we see Trevor Slattery in a makeup chair. We see a lineup of guys outside of this like room. So there's probably going to be hundreds of people looking to be cast as Wonder Man. And like, it feels like it's going to be set on like a sound stage, and we're going to see the camera operators and stuff. Like, it's going to feel very meta, almost like the studio, in a very meta way, where it's like a Hollywood show about Hollywood executives making a show. You know what I mean? But a Marvel twist on that, like, I'm fascinated. And just at the end, like that little cliffhanger, it's like supposed to be this interview the whole time that this guy's giving to somebody about this upcoming Wonder Man movie. And he's like, have you given any thought into casting? And Yahya's character, Simon Williams, is sitting there on the edge of his seat like, oh my god, could it be me? I gotta get this part, you know, like. But just some exclusive images released from Entertainment. We got Trevor Slattery and Simon Williams. Maybe they're going to be working together trying to help him get the part in this movie type of thing. It looks like they're in front of the legendary Chinese cinema. I think that's the Hong Kong theater in Hollywood. I believe there was a movie or a scene in Iron Man 2 or maybe Iron Man 3 shot out right out here where like Happy and that bomb, that guy like explodes from Extremis. If you guys know, you know. But Simon Williams, I mean, with the red glasses, he does look cool as hell. And like, his powers in the comics look like spooky, you know, like, I don't know what, I think this is going to be like a show about this guy trying to get this part as Wonder Man in this movie, and then he does, and then he gets superpowers for real in real life, and then his superpowers aren't just like flying around or normal powers. Like, from this one image of Wonder Man from like the comics, I think he looks to seem like this energy power coming out of one of his eyes, and like looks like energy or electricity all around him and shit. But maybe like dark, like maybe Wonder Man could be closer to like a Scarlet Witch in the darkness than we thought. You know, I think Simon Williams and her in the comics have a thing. Maybe he could be closer to like Agatha all along in the spookiness, or maybe like Doctor Strange and Blade and Moon Knight. Maybe he could be heading towards like a Midnight Suns rather than like an Avengers, you know what I mean? I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to be like, people are looking at the show and they're like, oh my god, this looks funny, this looks campy, it looks cool, it looks interesting. And then there's going to be like this horror tone mixed into this show that we weren't going to be expecting. I think it's going to be awesome. I think Yahya Abdul-Mateem is a great actor, and I can't wait for this. So comment below your thoughts on Wonder Man. Stay tuned for some other spooky season movie reviews coming out later today. There is going to be another trailer reaction that comes out tomorrow of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spin-off show that will be coming in January as well. So I'll probably be covering Wonder Man and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms at the same time as those shows run through January into February. This show might not even be week to week. They might dump all 6 episodes or whatever this is on Disney Plus on January 27th, and that could be it. I hope the show runs weekly. I hope all of Marvel shows run weekly. I hate when they dump the episodes like that. It just feels like they didn't have confidence in it, or they're just like, yeah, just get it out, talk about it for a week rather than 6 weeks. Like, it's like, come on. There's no reason why a 6-week show that's good, like Ironheart, shouldn't have been 2 weeks. That should have been a 6-week show. That was fun. I had a great time breaking that down, and I feel like there's so many people that didn't get to see it, you know? So if you didn't, go check out the breakdowns for the other Marvel shows that came out this year, already out on the channel already. And stay tuned for this. And I really appreciate you guys coming on by. If you want to chat more Wonder Man with me, drop a comment down in the comment section below, or you can message me on my other social medias. Links for those in the description below. Big Cam, 2 G's in the Big, pretty much anywhere. Look for my face and you can find me. But I really appreciate anybody that stuck around this far in the video. And if you would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already, hitting that bell so you don't miss future Wonder Man content and you get the notifications when it comes out. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.